Time for another award-winning mailbag edition of the Ravens Rundown. Tyler Jones here with you. Appreciate you joining us. You may be wondering, how did I get involved in these Ravens mailbags? Well, they come from our live shows that we're doing here on the channel. Subscribe so you know when we go live and so you can get your questions into the live chat, whether it's by super chatting or using the hashtag Ravens, and we'll get you on our next mailbag show. First up, a $5 super chat from Dominic. Dominic writes in, I think the Ravens should trade Lamar Jackson for C.J. Stroud, get a nice package of picks, and surround him with weapons. That's an interesting idea, Dominic, as far as that goes, of a trade package of some sorts. And here's where I'm at on all this, Dominic. I think we're still a ways away from putting together specific trade packages. But I'll say this much. If you are going to move on from Lamar, if you can't come to terms with the deal and he wants to move on, I think you are best going and getting a younger quarterback, okay, and resetting the clock and saving money. I think you're on to something there. The other thing I would say that you're on that I like about this, Dominic, is the idea of a C.J. Stroud or a Bryce Young. I like those two a whole lot more than I do the other quarterbacks in this draft. So, Dominic, I think you got the right idea, but I'm not ready to move on from Lamar just yet. Let's see where negotiations go. Yeecaw writes in with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Yeecaw, for that one. Hey, Papa Jones, I'm a huge Poe fan, and Edgar Allan Poe, that is, and that's one of my many reasons why I'm a Ravens fan. Fun fact, Baltimore is where Poe died. That is correct, Yeecaw, and I love that. We had a question that came up on one of our shows earlier this week about how the Ravens got their name, and I love that Yeecaw chimed in with a little history lesson there. The connections to Edgar Allan Poe is really cool for this franchise, and to see that name being embraced and the Ravens and everything with that, that's awesome, Yeecaw. Thanks for that $5 super chat. Big Boy Ravens fan writes in, hashtag Ravens. If the Ravens trade Lamar, where is he most likely to get traded to? That's a very good question, and I think that you look at the quarterback-needy teams, right, and they're the same ones that are in the Aaron Rodgers sweepstakes or potentially looking at Derek Carr. It's the Raiders. It is the Jets. It's the Falcons. It's those type of teams potentially that are looking to fill their quarterback needs. Now, there's some other teams that need quarterbacks, like let's say the Bucs, but, you know, they don't have a whole lot that they can give up of some sorts of the circumstances they're in. So for me, those are the teams that come to mind. The obvious three are the Raiders, the Jets, and the Falcons, as far as those are the teams that I think believe they are a quarterback away from taking that next step as far as that goes. But we'll see. I still think Lamar is going to be back with the Ravens this upcoming year, but time will tell, as they say. By the way, speaking of Lamar, where will he play in 2023? Let us know. Tell us in the comments section where you think Lamar is going to play, whether it's right here with the Baltimore Ravens or whether it's with another team. Tell me what you think in the comments section where you think Lamar Jackson is going to go. Adam writes in, hashtag Ravens, give Lamar the exclusive tag, trade him for a load of value like Philly, who traded Carson Wentz for a load of value. It only took them 3 years to rebuild and make it to a Super Bowl. Adam, here's the thing, though. I mean, Lamar is not Carson Wentz, okay? I'd much rather have Lamar on my team than Carson Wentz. The Eagles got rid of Carson Wentz because he was a bum, okay? I mean, you have your guy. Just pay your guy, as far as I'm concerned. But even then, if you have to tag and trade, okay, the move would be the exclusive tag over the non-exclusive tag. The non-exclusive tag limits kind of what you can do, right? I believe that you're guaranteed 2 first-round picks potentially with that non-exclusive tag compared to the exclusive tag. You can maximize what you could potentially get in a trade. I want to keep Lamar. I want the long-term deal, but if not, the exclusive tag and trade would be option number 2. Jacob writes, if Lamar were to get tagged, what tag would you put on him? Well, it would be the exclusive tag. I think. I don't think the non-exclusive tag makes a whole lot of sense, quite frankly, Jacob. William, who are you looking forward to seeing in the draft? William, That's a very good question. Who am I looking forward to seeing? I look at this draft, there's some really good talents. And one thing that I'm very interested in is the Bijan Robinson case story. Because I don't know when this started, but I would say probably within the last 10 years or so, there has been this whole idea in the National Football League and the draft that you can't spend a first-round pick on a running back. It's been very rare that we've seen it, and it's been hit or miss. I mean, Clyde Edwards-Helaire was a mistake by the Chiefs. The Giants are very glad they picked Saquon Barkley when they did. The Jags, they went all in on Leonard Fournette, and that didn't work out. And so for me, with Bijan Robinson, if Bijan, goes, let's say, top 15, and he's awesome, does that open the door for more running backs in the future to get picked higher, or is Bijan going to be an anomaly? To me, that is kind of one thing I'm watching for is the Bijan Robinson test and then what he does in the football field after that. Bijan, to me, is fascinating. I'm rooting him on, even though he went to UT, horns down. But let's see what he does. Folks, get your Ravens jerseys. We're selling them now at chatsports.com/Ravens jersey. Whether you want to wear a Lamar jersey or if you want to wear something to the effect of Mark Andrews, maybe you want to even throw back to Ray Lewis. I mean, we get plenty of options for you of some of your favorite Ravens of all time in all different shapes, sizes, and colors. Maybe it's Marcus Williams, whoever it may be. Here's what you do. Go to chatsports.com/Ravens jersey to get yours today, and you will be glad you did. And you'll be looking great. You'll be rocking out with your flock out with this great Ravens jersey. And it's the offseason. If you're wearing Ravens gear right now, I mean, you're proving yourself to be a real member of the flock and being a real Ravens fan. So get yours now, chatsports.com/Ravens jersey for more. John writes in, what's the possibility of Lamar signing a contract? Well, John, as of this recording, it doesn't feel like things are close right now, but if I've learned anything covering the National Football League is that things can change on a whim like that. It doesn't look like that things are headed in the direction that Lamar and the Ravens are going to get a long-term extension done anytime soon. I think the exclusive tag is going to get placed on him probably around the deadline of said exclusive tag. And then, try to get something done to have an answer. I think we will know one way or the other. Here's the timeline I'm putting on this. I think by offseason OTAs, we're going to know one way or the other. Either Lamar is in for the long haul and has a long-term contract, or by then he's traded and the Ravens move on, whatever it may be. And maybe even before the draft, actually. We'll see. But still a lot of work to go. Possibilities. It's not looking good at this moment, but that could change. John, thanks for that question. Let's go to Just Pay Lamar. Who should the Ravens draft with their first-round pick? Well, glad you asked, Just Pay Lamar, who the Ravens should draft with their first-round pick. So they'll be selecting right now at 22 overall. I am all in on the receiver position. I want to see the Ravens draft a receiver, whether it be Quentin Johnston, Jaxson Smith-Njigba, or whether it be Jordan Addison. I like all three guys. I like JSN probably the best, but I don't see much separation between JSN, Quentin Johnston, and Jordan Addison. I do think there's a drop-off when you start talking about Zay Flowers and some of those other guys beyond that. So for me, if he's there, Jaxson Smith-Njigba is who I'm going with, but any of those receivers I think you're feeling pretty good about as far as that pick goes at 22. Doesn't matter if Lamar's gone, who your quarterback is. You desperately need help at that wide receiver position. You need to invest young. You need a long-term solution, another weapon. I'm going receiver. I'm going Jaxson Smith-Njigba if he's there. Let's put you on the clock now here on the Ravens Rundown. Should the Ravens draft Jaxson Smith-Njigba if he is around at that selection? If you think they should, type Y for yes. If not, type in for no. Let us know in the comment section, Y for yes, in for no, if the Ravens should draft Jaxson Smith-Njigba or not. Folks, we are covering the Ravens each and every day here on the channel. Subscribe now and join our live shows so you can be a part of this very mailbag you're watching right now. And I got to tell you, it's a lot of fun interacting with all of our Ravens fans out there that have something to say, and we're giving them our honest, real opinions here on the show like no one else is. So turn on notifications so you don't miss a moment. Subscribe now. It does not cost you a thing. Make sure your fellow Ravens fans subscribe as well. The more we grow this channel, the more content we can produce and deliver you the latest happenings on your favorite team. Subscribe now, youtube.com/RavensTV. Matt writes in, can't give Lamar the bank to make him stay. I'm not getting the vibe that either side has any sense of urgency to extend. You may be onto something, Matt. There's not any movement right now. I mean, there's not been one single report out there that says, well, they're just waiting on this to happen or this, dot their I's, cross their T's, whatever. I mean, yeah. I'll say this, in this day and age, gone is the time of the Tom Brady types of taking discounts for teams to, save more money. Every quarterback is going to want top dollar, okay? And in Lamar's case of the rumors of him wanting the guaranteed money, can you really blame him? Can you? When Deshaun Watson got all that money, I know people are going to say, well, that was an anomaly, that was a unique situation. I mean, at least, maybe not the Deshaun Watson guaranteed money, but at least something anyway, something respectable where Lamar knows that he's going to get a certain amount of some sorts. There's got to be a middle ground of some sorts where both sides can come together. I think a deal will get done eventually. I'm optimistic about it, but we'll wait and see. All right, last one for you. Or actually, we got it. Here we go. This one from Barry. Would you go after Odell if you're the front office? I like Odell. I loved what he did with the Rams that year that they won the Super Bowl. He's going to be fully healthy, coming off injury and everything here. I think Odell, though, is going to get a nice payday. I don't know if the Ravens have the money for Odell, but I would strongly consider bringing an OBJ potentially to this Ravens team. You need all the receiving help you can get. Last one from Adam. Do you see Eric DeCosta trading Gus Edwards with 1 year left and replace with a running back like McIntosh from Georgia or McBride from UAB? Yeah, that could be possible. Gus Edwards, I think his name's come up in, whether it was cut conversations or trade deals, because you probably don't want to pay Gus Edwards long term. He's already been dealing with the injury issues of some sorts. But, yeah, I mean, and even beyond McIntosh and McBride, I'm just looking at day 3 running backs. I think that you're going to end up taking a day 3 back to be your number 2 or number 3 running back on this team going forward. So, Adam, good question there. But, yeah, I do think that's certainly a possibility.